everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajwa and I hope this video finds you well. If today is your first time coming across this channel, I'll be so grateful if you consider subscribing. And to all my returning subscribers, I say thank you so much and welcome back. So about 7-8 months ago, I did a review on a fragrance which was fairly new on the market, and there was absolutely no notes, available. So I had to go with what I could smell and how I felt about it. And this fragrance was Amir by Lattafa, which was part of the Al Noble series. At that time, I couldn't compare it to anything. So the closest in my collection that I could find any resemblance with was Camera, also by Lattafa. When I posted a video, I was fortunate enough to have some viewers who commented and said they knew of what this one was cloning, which was Rosendo Mateu No.5. I had, however, never come across the Rosendo Mateu No.5 or any of Rosendo Mateu fragrances. So, I was quite intrigued by this being a dupe of that particular fragrance. Then a couple of months ago, Lattafa came up with the Pride collection, which was supposed to be an original creation or an original, collection. But somehow some of them actually ended up being dupes of some niche and designer fragrances already available on the market. And one such fragrance is Shuyukh Gold by Lattafa. So this one has also been compared to Rosendo Mateu No.5, and unfortunately I have not come across the original version, but I have these two which are known dupes. So I'm just coming to give a review of this one and then compare it to this to see if they smell alike in any way, shape or form. Fortunately for me, I have the 20 ml sample size of this, so I was just fortunate to be gifted this one, so I don't have to open the 100 ml bottle. I think they come in a 100 ml bottle, and it's a beautiful, box with a very simple, but the bottle itself is like a great one, like very, very pretty. But because I have this one, I'll just go with this this particular sample size, which is a 20 ml. So on the website, Lattafa's website, the notes are caramel, saffron, tonka, suede, amber, vanilla, and musk. And fortunately, it is one of those fragrances which you get exactly what the note structure states. Upon first spray, this gives you a blast of some amber. It is very resonance, ambery, soft, spicy fragrance. That is exactly what what's the name again? Ishq gives you. The name is quite tongue twisting one, and it should not be mistaken for Shuyukh, also by Lattafa. So upon first spray, this one gives you that ambery, resonance, thick, syrupy, gooey, sweet, like very sweet caramel with that saffron. It has a note of saffron and it's very, very prominent, especially at the opening. That caramel, it's like on top of it, and it is one of the notes structure or the notes that gives it a sort of gourmand touch. It is not like a total gourmand scent to me, but it is borderline a toffee-like smell. It gives off that toffee, a caramel toffee dessert-like smell. That is exactly what you get from this particular one. When you go with the note structure of Amir by also by Lattafa, that one states some apple, some pink pepper, cloves, rosemary, ladanum, and cypress, among other notes. So the note structure, they are quite different, but the smell is like 95% or 98% the same. As soon as you spray any of these, there is no way someone will be able to tell them apart, especially in the air. Maybe on clothes, that is where you get the differences, and even the differences, you get them at a very deep dry down. But the first 2-3 hours gives you the same scent, the same like smell, every single thing. They are both very resonant, very thick, very deep. They both gives you that edible dessert-like quality. They come across as a toffee, sort of a caramel toffee with some suede. The suede is not like too prominent, you know, but it is, I think the suede, or the suede in this one and the laptinum in this one is what sort of ties them together. You know, they don't have much of a woody touch, you know, like most unisex fragrances. They are both unisex in nature, although they both lean a bit feminine, you know, but they don't have that woody touches which normally ties up fragrances together. I think the suede in this one does it, and then the laptinum, or that leather, laptinum come across as leather, it gives this one that roundness that it needs. I don't really get any musk in Ishq, neither do I get musky nuance in Amir, also by Lattafa. This is supposed to have some musk, but it doesn't really come across as musky or powdery. I get that caramel, creamy, tonka and vanilla, and I also get a feel that they both have some praline, you know. They come up, across as a bit praline, praline-like, you know. They smell like they could have some praline, because they are like I get a bit of chocolatey vibes in both of them. They are both very soft spicy. They are not like overly spicy. They give me a sort of soft spicy, you know, feel, which is which gives off a quite warm resonance, very comforting scent. I think both of them are appropriate for evenings, you know. Like, I feel they, on this one, I have not really used in the daytime, because I think it is a bit cloying in the sun, you know. So I've used it a couple of times for evening evening programs, whilst this one I'm yet to, you know, use it for any evening program. But I feel it is a bit too thick and a bit too sweet to be used in the high heat. You know, they come across as being a little cloying if you sort of use them in the high heat. So I think they are appropriate for like summer evenings, or any other season, you know, when it's much colder. That is the vibes that these two give me. The scent profile are absolutely the same, especially on skin. Like it has that caramel comes, you know, as soon as you spray. The saffron comes as soon as you spray. I don't get much of a saffron in this one. I get that sort of apple in it. If you remember Camera, you know, like Camera gives off this apple pie vibes. I get a bit of that apple pie vibes in Amir too, and that is the reason why even like 7-8 months ago, when I compared the two, you know, I still stand by what I said when I said this one sort of gives me Camera vibes. It actually gives me Camera vibes. You know, it does. But when you put these two together, somehow they resemble each other without this one getting the resemblance of Camera. Although this one gives me a little bit of Camera vibes, you know. But these two are like 98% the same. If you have Shuyukh, I don't think you need Amir by Lattafa. If you also have this one, you don't need Shuyukh, you know. You don't need it to, because they perform the same, they give off the same vibes, they give off the same smell, not even the same vibes, they give off the same smell. This one gives me like a solid 4-5 hours. This one gives me 6 hours plus. I think the performance of this is a little better than Shuyukh, but they last like the whole day in clothes. Like when you spray them in clothes, they last like the whole day. But it's on skin that this one gives me about 4 hours, and this one gives me at least 6 hours. When I spray them on clothes, they last much longer, you know. Even the following day, you can even smell both fragrances on your clothes. But they are not like a super room filling fragrance. Like they're not super room filling fragrances. I think this one does a little better when it comes to projection Amir than Shuyukh, you know. And this one is like a tad bit sweeter because of that apple in it. It gives off a little bit of apple pie vibes, but this one does not give off any apple pie vibes, you know. But when you spray it in the air, they are basically the same smell. It is, you know, when you spray it on your body, then in the deepest dry down, that is when you find that Amir is much more sweeter than Shuyukh. That is basically the difference I get in these two fragrances. So if they are indeed duping Rosendo Mateu #2, then I think as has been said by I think I watched Mike Colon, I watched him, and he also compared this one with the original Rosendo Mateu #5, and I liked the references, the comparison that he did, and his video said they actually are the same because he has the original and he was able to compare the two. So if these two really are like dupes of this, then I don't think I think it's worth the money if you have any of them, but it's not worth it having the two. If you already have this one which came earlier, then there's no need having Shuyukh, and I think this one also goes for the 100 ml bottle, which is this one. 100 ml bottle goes for around $50, which is like a bit pricey, as in the most Pride collection fragrances. But Amir, at the time I got it, which is like 8-9 months ago, was around $25, and I think it's still around the same price. So you can pick this one for a much cheaper alternative than the Shuyukh, which is like quite new, so a little much more expensive than Amir. But scent wise, you get basically the same thing, especially if you have both of them in the air. So that is all I have for you. Shuyukh by Lattafa, and Amir in the Al Noble series, also by Lattafa. I think even the bottle are almost the same, in terms of the color. Solid black with some gold touches, and they are absolutely both very, very artistic bottles, with the designs like very, very artistic, and I don't prefer any over the other. I think I like them both, but I don't think you need both in your collection if you have one already. So that is all I have for you, and I hope this video finds you all. If you are new to this place, please consider subscribing, and to all my returning subscribers, thank you so much. I'm so grateful for every single view, every single like, every single comment. Like, please keep them coming. So thank you so much for being here, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.